How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to change a Kickstarter shaft on a Yamaha Big Wheel 200 I have. I purchased it like this with a broken kickstart lever, and it would push start and run pretty good, but we're going to go ahead and replace the kickstart lever to make it so we can actually kick it over instead of just push starting it. So I'm going to take you to that and we'll show you how to do this. Alright, here's the big wheel I'm working on. As you can see here, this is the Kickstarter shaft, and it's broken half right where the bolt goes to lock it. So there's a company out there that still makes these parts. So this is a genuine Yamaha Big Wheel 200 Kickstarter shaft. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to pull this side cover off and get this replaced. So for now I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil out and get the cover off. Alright, so we got the cover off here, and a couple of the bolts themselves were really tight, so we have this tool here that's supposed to help break them loose, but that was not working very well. So I have a hack for something like that, and I cut a slit on the top of it about dead center, and I go down to the base of it just enough that I'm not hurting anything on the bike. It's just the bolt itself, because the bolts can be replaced, you know, and that way I don't do any damage to the motor itself. And what I do for that is I just take a grinder and just go to the tip of it, hold it up very carefully, try to line it up, and just cut it down the slit. So I can use a flat tip screwdriver, get a thick heavy duty one, and it catches a lot better than the Phillips do, and it would break it loose. When this tool that's specifically for breaking loose screws was not getting to it. So anyways, we did that. To get the cover off, I had to take the skid plate off, and to take the skid plate off I had to take the exhaust off, just to get to one screw that was on the side being covered by the skid plate. But now here we're at with the cover off, and here's our Kickstarter shaft that I will be pulling apart to take all the components on it, because they're still good, and throwing it on our new Kickstarter shaft. So, because that's all I ordered was just the shaft, because the tip broke. It broke right about here where the bolt will go through and hold the Kickstarter itself into place. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off now, and we'll put it back on when the new part's ready. Okay, update. I went ahead and pulled the Kickstarter shaft out. Here it is. So we're going to go ahead and reassemble the whole setup with the new one here. And as you can see where it broke off to compare with the new one. And so I'll set this back up in, and one of the hardest things about this is making sure it gets winded up correctly, and putting everything back into place correctly. So I myself might have to look up a video on how to do that, because I've never done this before. But don't worry, we'll get this figured out. Alright, so here I have with the new one that I put back together. And every model of bike is going to be different, because you have to make sure you get your Kickstarter shaft situated correctly to the motor. And this is not going to look like every Kickstarter shaft, obviously, but make sure you get it set up correctly. You might have to, Google it or YouTube it. And one of the biggest thing is make sure you get these situated correctly so that it can retract back. There is a spot where this goes, if yours has it. Not all do. And then you got to make sure that the spring is placed correctly, so when you put it to hook it up to where it needs to go to the motor, it will help retract it back. And some bikes might have a auto decompression cable on it, and this one does right here, and it hooks up to right here. So this right here, we need to make sure that we get it situated correctly so that when we put it in, it will operate and function correctly. So every bike is going to be different, but make sure you making sure you do your research correctly so that your Kickstarter shaft will work. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in, and then we're going to try it out before I put the whole cover back on to make sure that it's situated correctly. Alright, so here we are. We put it in. It's wounded correctly with the spring. So we're going to go ahead and put the cover back on and kick it over to make sure that it's completely set up right as it should be, and then make sure we fill it up with oil and go from there. Alright, so there we go. After getting the Kickstarter shaft in, as you can see here, the nice new piece I have here, I went ahead and put some gasket sealer on the side cover, and went ahead and put it back on and tighten it all down. So for now I'm going to leave that there overnight, and we're going to come back and finish putting it together. I got the oil filter out, sitting right here for now. I'll clean that up and put that back on, get the kick lever on it, and we'll give it a whirl, make sure it works. Alright, all put back together, and it kicks over just fine. So I'll go ahead and show you here without starting it. Just that it kicks over just fine, like it should. So thankfully we put it back together correctly. But now to finish this video off, we're gonna go ahead and just give it a little rip. Alright guys, thank you all for watching. If you don't have a Yamaha Big Wheel or a Honda Fat Cat, they are very different from a regular dirt bike, but they are still a lot of fun. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. It was basically just how to switch out a broken Kickstarter shaft with a new one. Kind of very basic and simple, but I didn't know how to do it. And trying to find a YouTube video for specifically the Yamaha Big Wheel 200 did not show up, so I decided I'd do a recording of myself for it to help get it out there so other people might have use of this video. So anyways, thank you for watching. Check out my other videos if you haven't. I like doing a lot of builds and reviving stuff, so I've been a little slow with some videos here lately just of all what's going on. I still work a full-time job and am doing a lot of overtime, and but anyways, I'll get better at that. I already got part of the next one ready to come up, so we'll put that up next weekend. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe and share if you haven't, and catch you guys later. Thanks.